Right, another wet, miserable and overcast day. It's raining a bit here. I think we escaped this new storm that's coming. I think we escaped a lot of that last night. So I don't know, how did you go? How did you fare? Anyway, going on a road trip today to go and deliver this concrete beam screed. I do show you something that we manufacture here at GCS. We used to do a lot of them. We do a few less now. But if you're anybody's into concreting or doing farm buildings, you need a beam screed. This is what we make. Right, so as you can see, here's the two aluminium beams. We cut these, make these to length. These two, I think, are 6.2 meters. So I think the guy's doing 6 meter bays of concrete. So we cut them to length. We make the bolt work and the spacings in between, and then we manufacture these up, which are the power unit. Now, what we do find with some people is that they'll buy several sets of beams at different lengths, so depending on what size concrete they do, beams like bays they do, and then one power unit. Brand new Honda GX1 has a 160 engine. That clamps onto the shafts there, and handle each end. Some people we see do put a bit of rope on the end and put it from the side rather than having to put it through the concrete, but I think that depends on what you're doing and your preference. So yeah, it's just something we manufacture. So we used to do a lot of these. We probably do about 1 or 2 a month now for people. Obviously they never wear out, they last forever, don't they? But so there we go. We're doing any concreting, and each one of them. We don't hire these out. I will just clarify, we don't hire them out, we just sell them, manufacture them and sell them. So there we go. If you need one, give me a ring. I'm sure she put the number on the box below. So right, I'm going to go on a road trip now and deliver this. We're delivering this personally because it's just one of those sort of things that to try and send that on a pallet network, it'd be sort of 6 pallet spaces, and they don't like moving them because of the length of them, and they get messy, and then they try to cheat and put stuff on top of them and bend them and etc. So we're just going to go and deliver this personally, and I'll show you where we deliver it to, because it's very close to where I actually started GCS from, about 1.5 miles from where GCS started. So we'll take you on a little tour there and just show you what where we came from. Right, onwards. Oh, I must go and get JJ. Right, we're on our way to Kent to deliver this beam screed. JJ's with me, he's in the back. He's having a bit of a nap. In fact, he's going to have a nap probably all the way, but there you go. It's a dog's life. Right. Bit of a follow on from one of my previous videos where I talk about the lack of staff and my perception of that. And I've been absolutely inundated with responses. Oh, fantastic. Thank you everybody that's private messaged me, sent us all sorts of messenger, messages through YouTube. Thank you so much, all of you. Everyone's been read, and we take all your points on board. It's very, very encouraging. I think that this is a nationwide and ongoing problem, or even a world problem. But one message in particular sort of caught my attention, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I don't know, maybe this would change how I advertise jobs or how other people advertise jobs. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Right. The person's question said that if you was employing me at say £14 an hour, and somebody would do the job for £8 an hour, would you change and go to the cheaper person? And I actually went back to this person and said, well, in actual fact, from where I'm sitting as an employer, it's not about the hourly rate that I pay you. Now, the people that are watching this saying, oh, it's exactly that, it's, we all go to work, we earn money. Totally get that. Not saying that's not the case, okay? Because we've all got to live comfortably, we've all got to live happily. One of the worst concerns in the world is having no money in the bank, is it? And can't pay your bills. That's or having no food for the table and feeding kids. Totally get all that. Okay, right. But this takes me back to when I advertised for a welder fabricator probably a couple of years ago, and we advertised what we wanted and everything else, and I got quite a lot of kickback on, I think it was Facebook, for everyone kept asking me what's the hourly rate, and I couldn't answer them fair and squarely what the hourly rate was, and they was all saying, oh, this is a con, this is a scam, it's this, everything else. But the reason, this is my logic behind it, this is why I can't. Every single individual person has a different value, right? Now, this person's saying about the £14 an hour, the £6 an hour thing, whatever. I'm happy to pay someone what they're worth, okay? Now, and I'm not going to ever know that worth of somebody until I've employed them for a short time. So, if I said I'm going to advertise for a fabricator welder and the rate is £20 an hour, I may get no takers, or I might get a lot of people that think they are a fabricator welder. Oh, now the phone's ringing. That's not that's not in the script of this anyway. But I'll bring that back in a minute. So, every single individual employee has their own value. So, people may not apply to me if I put on there £20 an hour, or I'm going to get the people that apply that aren't worth £20 an hour. But equally, the people that are worth £30 an hour won't apply because they think they're being undervalued. So, how do we value an employee? Now, this person's question was, will I automatically change from a 14 down to an 8? No, I wouldn't, not at all. In fact, if you came to me and you could produce me, 3 times what the £8 a person, I'd happily pay you 3 times their value. It's what are you worth to your employer, or how much effort, how willing are you, and how, conscientious are you? So, I don't know. How as an employer, should I be advertising jobs when I don't know the value of each individual person that could apply? You can get welders that are worth £20, you can get welders that are worth £40 an hour. How do you ever know that until you've actually tried them and done it? How do you advertise that job to get that person to apply without knowing their skill set? I don't know. So I would really value anybody's answers or the perception on what I've just said. If you don't understand what I'm trying to say, please message me or even give me a phone call. Happy to speak to anybody, more than happy. But I just think it's not, especially the hourly rate that we advertise, it's not the hourly rate that, it's what are you worth to your employer? Have I got the wrong perception of that? I don't know. Please let me know in the boxes below, because I'd love to know, and it may change things, it may change how we employ, it may even change how someone applies for a job, because, go and talk to maybe a new employer, sound them out, But anyway, that's how I see it. Please put a comment below. Sorry about this, another long speech, but my brain's working overtime on all these little points, and to me they're extremely valid. And that question that I got just really thought, oh yes, yeah, good point. So anyway, we're going to carry on to Ken. Right, we just popped back to a village called Bredgar. We were delivering that beam screed about a mile away, and this is the village where I grew up as a child. My grandparents have been here for an awful long time, and I'm going to walk up and just show you where we used to live. Where my grandparents. I was very lucky as a child, very lucky, that I had the most amazing grandmother, and she lived next door to where we did. So I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and she was an awesome lady. I'm going to walk up and just show you pretty quickly where we used to live. I know it's a bit maybe not machinery minded, but it just gives you an idea into GCS. And this is where our first JCBs and everything used to run from. And we've got some still photographs of JCBs in the yard at the time, so we'll put them on. I'm going to quickly walk up and just show you briefly where GCS actually really originated from 37-ish years ago. So JJ's going to keep an eye on the truck, aren't you, JJ? Bless him, look at him, what a beautiful dog. And I'm going to walk up and just show you where GCS actually started from day one, in the beginning, in Bredgar, Sittingbourne in Kent. So let's go and have a look. So this is Primrose Lane in Bredgar, and that's the house where I grew up there, and this is the house here where my grandparents used to live. And I lived here for a big part of my life in this very nice rural village. here, but that was home. You can't see too well, but it's there. And behind at the back there was the pig buildings that my grandparents had a pig farm, and they would live there. If you look behind there, there's a house there at the back in the garden which I built and sold. So there's the yard. That's where we started from. There's almost such wonders. I don't know who lives in the house now, and it's almost like a bit like I wonder what would happen when I knocked on the door and just said that this was your childhood home. I wonder how surprised the residents would be. But there we go. And there was a German Shepherd living in my nan's old house, which is quite cool because there was a German Shepherd there when I was there. So yeah, so there we go. How cool is this? Just brings back memories, really. I'm not quite sure, but there we go. So this is where GCS started from. Right, so here's a very proud picture of mine here. This is my first 3CX. It's taken right on the driveway, where you've just seen me standing. And that's my grandma in the driver's seat. I remember I clear it well. It was on a Sunday. I'd just been to buy this 3CX from a firm called Gamble Plant in Worthing. It came home and my grandma was so excited. I guess I was around about maybe 18, maybe 19 at that point. And my grandma was so excited. She came out and she wanted to have a photograph taken, sitting in it. So yeah, very proud moment there of me and my grandma. So yeah. Right, I just mentioned my grandmother at the house. This is a picture of my grandmother on a Ford 8210 that I bought, one of my very first tractors, in the yard at Bredgar. So here's another picture, very early days with a very early 3C that my regular viewers will know that we still have. My first 3CX there, and those that are really eagle-eyed, if you look on the left-hand side there, you'll see the back of a tractor, which was a Leyland 384, which I'm going to sort of say was my first big tractor, really. And how times have changed, when a 72 horsepower tractor was quite big. But anyway, yeah, that's taken in the yard at Bredgar. Very early days. As you can see, that's another view of the same picture. If you look on the left there, it's the oil store that we built. Yeah, and I was at that age there. I was probably around 22, 23, maybe. Maybe a little bit younger, but there we go. No one can say we didn't try hard. JCB 3.6s were the main fleet of GCS in the early days. And here's a picture taken, I think at one Christmas, when 4 of them came home and were lined up in the yard in Bredgar. Yeah, lots of memories in these photographs. There we go. Quite strange, quite emotional really, going back and seeing it all. It brings back lots of memories as a child. Where did you live? Where did you ever go back to where you grew up as a child? If you did, put in the comments below, put down and tell us where were you? What did you where would you live? Where did you grow up? And do you ever go back there? Have you ever knocked on the door to see who lives there now? Is your old bedroom still there? I don't know. But I might do that one day. I might go back there and knock on the door and just say hello and see what whoever lives there now is. Yeah, might give us a shock. Might be nice. I think my dad built that house. My dad actually built the house, and so yeah, long time. Lots of memories, lots of emotions. So anyway, I'm going to take it down and show you the farm shop that we used to own and operate, and we'll show you that. Right, so there we have it. My grandma's house there. I did actually buy for my grandma when she passed away, went into a home. If you look at the end of the drive, there's also the end of that drive up there. You'll also hopefully see there's an oil store there, things like that we constructed. There you are, and there's the house that I grew up in. So yeah, it's yeah, brings back memories and other times. Right, so just come past and show you the old, where we started from in Bredgar. The house I grew up in and my nan's house that I bought. But while we were also in Bredgar, we then went from there, we bought a farm in Milstead, which is the next village over. I'll drive past there shortly for you in a minute. But we bought a farm there, and that's where we really started to get going from. But we also took on the local farm shop. As happens, that's the farm shop in the background. And this farm shop was in need of perhaps a lot of energy put into it. So we bought it and took it on. And we built it into a thriving business. We put tea rooms in it, we put a pet store in it, we also looked for plants there. At the time we had our own nursery where we used to grow plants as well. So that was all quite good. But so the farm shop is still going and it's thriving here in Bredgar. I'm not going to go in there because I'm just not sure that I want to go back in time quite like that. But I will just show you the farm shop that we took on, and here it is. So there is Bredgar farm shop. When we took it on, it was just the front bit, the first bit, the bit there that was the shop, but we extended it in. There's a post office there, and we made it into, you know, quite a thriving business. We put this veranda on out the front here, made for tea rooms, so people come and sit there and have their cups of tea. Obviously today it's a bit wet and miserable, but we made this into a thriving business. And the building is very old. I think it's like an old granary or something like that, but it's very old timber beams and very oldie worldy. But yeah, this was another part of the GCS empire that we took it on, did really well with it, made it into something good, and then we sold it on, and it's good to see that it's actually still going. So there you go, a bit more of GCS history there. Right, so from Bredgar, we bought a farmyard in the village called Milstead, which is the next village over. As it happens, it was just down the road from where my great-great-grandparents used to run a agricultural contracting business with steam engines and thrashing drums and all sorts of things, and literally just up the road. So that was rather cool, and we managed to buy a farmyard, which was good. And this is the farmyard that we actually bought, and I'll just show you now. It's all changed since when we bought it. Totally changed when we bought it. It looks a little bit different now to where when we owned it. That's the gates I put up, and two steel gates there, and this is the road we put in. But there was a farmyard. There was a farmyard, and down here roughly where my fingers are was a whole range of farm buildings, which they belonged to a farmer called John Arthur and William Boyd. And we bought them, and we bought the yard here, and it was a real stepping stone, a major stepping stone for GCS in our development. Major stepping stone. So I'm going to thank them kindly for selling it to us, and he gave us a good leg up. Now the quick story, very quick story behind this. The other side of this farmyard, we had a neighbour from hell. And when I say a neighbour from hell, we had a neighbour from hell, right? No matter whatever we did, we were reported to the council authorities, planning, highways, you name it, we was reported for. If we sneezed, we would be reported for it. So I think the council got totally fed up with constantly having been hassled. And this person then got on the parish council. They were, and yeah, they were on a mission to try and push it away. So the sting of the tale is that we were offered to buy the property in the end for development. And I think due to the fact that the council was so fed up with my neighbour moaning about me and my lorries and all the rest of it, they granted permission to development to get rid of me, which wasn't a problem. We were quite happy with that. So from being a farmyard, this property now has become a distribution centre, a UK distribution centre, I think, for eco-friendly coffins. So coffins that are imported from around the world, I'm not going to exactly go where they're not, two things like that. They come here by container and then are shipped off. So amazing really that the development was granted for a coffin distribution centre just to get rid of GCS. So anyway, it all ended well. We were happy. We sold it well. We were very happy, and it gave GCS another step up. So we ought to be thanking our neighbour really for what she did to us. Actually, we benefited from enormously. So it gives us a stepping stone up again to where we are today. So every cloud has a silver lining or something like that, I think. But there we go. So move on. So here's the first picture we have of Lion Farm. We bought this derelict farmyard, or a farm that wasn't really in use anymore. And this is in the very early days, but this has now enabled me to buy tipper lorries. So we started buying tipper lorries and started doing tipper haulage. So here's my very ever first lorry, a Leyland, I think, constructor 3026, I think it was. And I used to drive that myself in the early days as well. Yeah, lots of memories. As we developed Lion Farm, if you look there, you can see the road that we put in. Lorries got bigger, and the name sort of GCS really started to appear a lot more there, away from my surname being Gallagher. But yeah, the lorries got bigger, the Tories got bigger, and there became an awful lot more of them. So there's a picture of our first low loader, a Mercedes and a brand new King triaxle low loader, and one of my 20-odd tonners. So we've been doing this job for a very long time, and not until you look at these pictures, I think you really realise what we've done and how much hard work myself and my staff have put in to build what we've got. From trucks, tippers, low loaders, the sweeper fleet started to grow, which became a very significant part of our business over quite a long period of time. And again, this is another picture of taken at Lion Farm. Just one last picture of Lion Farm here. Yes, we know it's a case 1494 in the front, but at the back of the pictures now, we show where the eco-friendly coffin factory was built and developed. So yeah, all changed. Right, well, as we now leave what we called Lion Farm in Milstead, we come down the road here, and this hedge is certainly, the hedge on the left here is certainly grown well. We planted that a long time ago. That used to be our entrance there on the left, and then that's where, well, the neighbour lived. This used to be our local pub, the Red Lion, which used to be brilliant, with a guy called Ian Horsfield was the landlord, and a real proper nice guy. Many happy times with Ian. Yeah, an awesome landlord. And then if you come down here, I used to live here on the left in the bungalow, and then my great grandparents on the house had the farm here, and that's where they used to run the steam engines and that all from. So a lot of history in a very close proximity. So yeah, lots of memories, lots of happy days. Right, well, if you've made it this far to the end of this video, congratulations, and thank you so much for taking the time and trouble to watch the history of where my small business has come from. It's not all down to me, it's down to my staff, family members as well. So thanks to everybody that's helped me. Thank you for everybody who's watching. Please click and subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you again on the next video. Thank you very much.